Yes.
Wait, what was your first con?
Otakon.
You went to Otakon for your first con?
Yeah.
Okay, in 2008, that was still pretty big.
I think my first con, it was like 2007 was when I went my first year. And then that's when I like got into cosplay because I saw everyone dress up. And I was like, oh my god, this looks like so much fun.
Wow, how'd you end up in Otakon? I mean, were you living near, you said you lived near Pennsylvania, so.
Yeah, I live in Pennsylvania. So it was like I think it was a 2 or 4 hour drive, I can't remember. So it wasn't that bad of a drive.
How'd you find out about it in the first place?
A friend of mine went to it, has gone to a couple of years, so he was like, you should come with us.
You should come. So you might check it out, and so did it just kind of blow your mind, just like?
The first year he invited me, I was like, no, I'm gonna go to camp and like see all my friends. And then the next year I was like, no, I'm not gonna go to camp. I'm gonna go to the anime convention.
You whole complete flipped off.
I regretted it so much, skipping out that first like con, like going to camp instead. I was like, oh, I should have went to the convention.
Oh, you caught up.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. How long were you going to Otakon for before you moved out to the West Coast?
I've only gone twice. So, and because by the time I was my second year after that, I ended up moving to Las Vegas.
So back when you were in Otakon and so forth, I mean, I'm gonna assume you were into anime when you were, okay, so.
God, that's such a dork.
Well, I'm just kind of curious. So what was your first thing that you watched that you didn't know was anime, and then you later found out it was anime?
Cardcaptor Sakura. On the WB, I was just like, I love you, Sharon. I love you, Sakura. Please be mine forever. And then how I got back into it is because I saw that growing up as a kid. I had no idea what it is. And then I was in a bookstore and I saw Tsubasa, and on the cover you see Sharon and Sakura all grown up, and I was like, what is this? I must have it. It was very hard to understand the first time I read it, and then I got used to it, and then basically got all into it.
Wow. Or did you just go to convention and you're like, whoa, people dressed up?
Yeah, pretty much. I went to the convention, I was like, oh my god, what is this? This is awesome. Like, I had like I wore a Lolita dress, and like, I had my hair like multicolors, and so like, I went wearing that, and then I just saw a bunch of other people dressing up in the same thing, or like other like costumes. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Wow. I was like the biggest fangirl. I was like, can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? Can I get a picture with you? In fact, because I got really into Duskaya at that time, the second time I went, no, I'm sorry, the first time I went, and there was this girl, she cosplayed from Plein Air, from Duskaya, and I freaked out when I saw her, and I got a picture with her, and then the next year, or the year, because I skipped a year and then I went again, and I couldn't find her, but I kept looking for her. And then years later down the road, I'm actually friends with her on Facebook, and she asked me on a date, and I'm like, no, why am I in Vegas? I was like, this sucks. So next time in Otakon, I owe her a date. Like the night before the convention, I made this outfit. It's the first time I ever made it, and it was like made out of cardboard and like with fabric glued on it, because it's like this big giant bat shape here and a bat shape here. So I was like, how do I make it stick up like that cardboard? So I put fabric around it. I like made little shorts and like a top, and then I made a big giant like guitar, because she has a guitar that looks like a devil kind of. And like I made it out of cardboard as well, with like covered with felt. And like the entire time of the convention, I was like, "Devil's dude!" And I just like kept doing that. And my friends were so annoyed at me. They were just like, "Oh my god, shut up!" Like, no. And then my mom helped me make a amulet heart costume, because I was really into that show. So I cosplayed Amulet Heart and Amulet Devil. That was before I knew about wigs, so I like bleached my hair and dyed it pink. It was so bad. It was terrible. But it was fun. It was really fun. But I wasn't really good with crafts. I'm terrible at crafts. So like whenever I try to make armor cosplays, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I like glue stuff together and hope it works out. Like sometimes it works out, and sometimes I'm like, this sucks. But my mom actually taught me how to sew. Like it was something we did together before cosplay. We used to sew. Like we would like she made me. We made shirts together. I think she made me a shirt one time. I made a pillow. I did really simple things, and then like that's how I got into sewing. So then my mom, basically I did my own thing, and my mom would help me. It started out because she had a Uniquely You, which is like a mannequin thingy, but I forget what they're called. But a forum, there you go, and it's made out of foam. So all I would do is like put the fabric on and just pin it, and then like pin the seams together, and then like sew it, and that's how I would make it, because I didn't know how to use patterns at the time. So I just like made my own stuff. So I was like pin the seams together, take it off, so put it on me. It was really bad.
Did it work? How did that work out the first time?
The first time I did that was I was making Shion's maid outfit from Higurashi, and it was okay. But knowing what I know now, I probably could have made it a lot better. So I'm cosplaying from Shanya. It's Yamashita. Yeah, it's an artist, and he draws a lot of sexy ladies. And so this is one of the artworks I found. I really liked it, and I had no idea, honestly, when I started out, I had no idea how to make it. So I went around asking like all my friends, like, cause I know a few people in like Vegas who are like master craftsmanship. Like everything they do is just like godly. So I was like, my one friend cosplayed from CC like the butterfly outfit, and like everything's all gorgeous and like cut out perfectly. Like the butterfly's all like perfect. And I was like, how did you do that? She's like, a heat knife, and I was like, that is so smart. So I got a heat knife and I tested it on the fabric. So I cut it with a heat knife. Yeah. And then this is all foam that I cut out and then just glued on top. So because it's cut with the heat knife, it won't fray. Oh. And then the foam obviously is not going to fray either. So that's how I did this. It took a really long time. If I'm not sure how to make it, like if it's like a type of top I've never made before, usually what I'll do is I'll save all my phone or pictures on my phone, and I'll go when Joann's has like a 99-cent pattern sale. I'll go and like just sit through and look at the patterns and see if I can find anything similar to it, and then I'll get that pattern and alter it the way I want it. But like where it's something like this where it's like a weird edging, that usually I just kind of like sit and stare at it and hope it'll make itself. I just look at the fabric. I'm like, go on, do your job. But usually it just like it involves a lot of just like sitting around and like kind of like on the internet or just like staring at the picture and just trying to figure it out. Cause like I think I asked a few friends, asking my friends too as well. Cause I asked my one friend who's really good at like costuming. She's been doing it for at least over 30 years. Or not 30. I'm sorry. She's been doing it for at least 15 years, and she's really amazing, basically. And like I asked her how would she go about it, and she was gonna do like she was suggesting like paint or like making like the edging itself, and like it would be like sewing a line together like pleats and all this, like it'd be such a pain in the ass. So I was like, I don't really want to do that, too much work, cause like it curls up like this, and I have no idea how to do that. So then I asked my one friend it was like an okay, like she's really good like cosplayer, but like not like amazing like Heather. So I asked her and she's like, I would just cut it out with foam. I was like, that's actually a really good idea. So like sometimes like it's good to just ask around like your friends if they're not like assholes about it and they're like, don't ask me. Because I know like I'll go around asking my friends who like make armor and stuff. If I have a costume that I really want to make that has armor in it, I'll just be like, how would you guys go about making this?
So it's kind of like asking a lot of people and getting like the best idea that you think that you can do to do what you want to do.
Like building off on it pretty much, because I think me and my friend just sat around and had a conversation about it, and that's how we eventually came up with the idea that like a heat knife and foam would be the best idea.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So talking about fabrics, so you're based in Vegas. What do you go to for fabrics there?
Fabric District.
You guys have a Fabric
LA.
District?
Yeah.
Oh, but
all the way in LA. Me and my friends from Vegas will drive like 4 hours, or 4.5 hours. Yeah, just to go to Fabric, like get Fabric at Fashion District. We'll usually make a trip of it, like a day trip. We'll all get in the car and go and spend all day shopping and walking around and like haggling people for cheaper prices. And then like that's how we get our fabric for like the rest of the year.
Really? Do you do this like what, once, twice? I mean,
Well, at least once or twice a year.
Once or twice a year?
I think last year I went 3 times because I kept changing my plans.
Oh, okay. So it's not like you just buy. You have a plan before you get there. You're like, okay, I want to do like this and this and this one, and then you kind of have a list.
Pictures up, and you like write. I usually write a list of like what I need, like 3 yards of this, 4 yards of that, like type thing. And then if I find it, I'll go for it. And if I don't find it, then I usually won't do the costume. Or if I don't find it, if I happen like it's at Joann's and I can find it on sale or use a coupon, I'll get it then. But I would try Fashion District.
You try Fashion. How do you figure out wigs?
Oh my god.
Because how do you, like, if I were to buy a wig online, like, I don't know what to do.
Wigs are like, okay, they're really hard for me because like I prefer going to a convention and getting a wig because like at least I know what it looks like, but obviously I don't always have the opportunity. Recently I've been shopping on Taobao, which is like Chinese Amazon. Okay. So everything's really, really cheap, and I know some of the eBay sellers that I like always get my wigs from, they actually have a Taobao account, so I usually buy it from Taobao because it's actually cheaper, because it's like Chinese yuan It's like 15 cents to the dollar. So we'll do like a group order and then like split shipping.
That's actually a good idea. Group
Yeah.
orders, group. Okay.
This wig's from Arda though, because this one is like pigtails, and I could not find that. And I actually had to buy this twice because the first time, because it was lighter than I needed it, because it was like this bright green, and I need this like tealish purple, or this teal green. It's not as blue as I wanted it to be, but so I bought it the first time, and so I watched a bunch of like wig tutorials with like dyeing wigs, and I thought the best way would be to take the pigtails apart and then dye it and then re-put it together.
Right.
But when I put it together, it looked great on my wig head. But when then I cut it all all short, because this used to be to here. So I cut it really short, and then I put it on my head, and it just popped, like the sides poofed out really awkwardly. And I was like, well, that's not gonna work. And because I already cut it, I couldn't just take it apart and redo it again. So I had to buy it again. I think I spent $100 for this wig for this costume, because it was like $50 the first time and then $50 again.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why like mostly I shop at Taobao, because like I think I did a group order with someone, and I think I got like over 15 wigs, and it was like $120 or something like that. And that's like including shipping, and then when I like split it up, it was so cheap.
Okay, now I have to wonder, how many wigs do you have at home?
Probably over 50 wigs.
How do you store all 50 wigs?
In like those little plastic
The
drawers.
plastic-
Literally, I
Oh,
have.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have two of them stacked on top of each other, and like 7 of the drawers, because there's 3, and then like one
Yeah.
more, or I think it's 2 more. They're all full of wigs. And I just lay them flat in there, and I pull them out and like kind of like dig through like a file, like which one?
That's a smart idea.
Yeah, and it's like longer ones at the bottom and like shorter ones up top.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
How do you actually style your wigs? Like, are you good at doing that yourself, or do you?
I'm so bad at styling wigs. I'm so terrible at styling wigs. Like, I had a long wig and I tried styling it to look like Kaito, and it just failed so badly. It just looked like a girl wig. I'm usually terrible at styling wigs. Like, I can cut bangs, but that's about it. Like, if it's like hardcore styling, like the pigtails or something like that, I wouldn't be able to do it. That's why I had to order this, because I had pigtails pre-done already.
Right.
I can't style wigs.
What about? I heard about wig commissioners. Have you tried?
There's this amazing wig commissioner in California, and I forget her online name, but she's so amazing. She's really good. I put her on my fan page, like a picture. I have an album on my fan page that says like people I admire.
Right.
And I posted her because like her wigs are like godly. Like her fan page for her I think it's a fan page for her wigs. Like if you can see all her wigs, and they just look so amazing. Like I don't even understand how she does it. And that's like the same thing with props. I don't understand how people do it, but like her wig styling skills are just like godly.
How'd you find out about her? Google.
Google, yeah, pretty much. Like I think I came across it on like DeviantArt actually, because I was searching wig tutorials, and I think hers came up like there's like a side shot, front shot type thing, and like so I clicked into it because like this looks amazing, and I like just looked at all her stuff on her DVR, and I was like, this girl is like godly. Positive is it can be really rewarding, and like you said, hanging out with your friends is really fun. I think the negative is that people are really critical, and I think this community is very negative.
Do you think that's mostly online or in person?
Online. People don't have the balls to do it in person. Like someone will go up to your face and say, "Oh my God, you're amazing," and then walk away and just be like, "They're out. This isn't right, or that's inaccurate, or their wig is wrong, or something like that." Like people are just really negative, in my opinion.
Have you ever had somebody actually say something to you in person about something, or at a con or something?
I honestly don't know. I don't remember, because it's one of those things I just try not to pay attention to, because it shouldn't bring me down.
Yeah.
So, it wouldn't surprise me if someone has said something mean to me. Like there's a difference between being like mean and like giving like I guess it's like helping someone with like improving, or just being down straight up like rude about it. Like I think I've helped some people out, but like I wasn't rude where I'm like, this is wrong. I was like, oh, that's really great, and then like type thing, and it's just like I would suggest something, or like, oh, like this is a really good idea. When I did this, I did that, or something like that. Or if they mentioned that they had trouble doing something, like I would say, oh well, you look at a tutorial online, or I would suggest like something that I know. But like I just don't go up to people and say that's wrong, do this it this way type thing, because that's just rude.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot. I'm kind of surprised, but I also understand that sometimes when you're younger, it's got to be this way or it's got to be this way, like that. But
Yeah.
to me, cosplay is
It's your own thing.
Yeah.
It's most people are doing it for fun, so it's like you shouldn't let people with like saying mean things get you down, because it's for you. It's not for them. So
Yeah.
that's why like when people are really mean to me, I'm just like, it's for me. It's not for them. So
Yeah.
why should I care what they say?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I know I'm not the best out there, so it's like, yeah, everyone's gonna have something negative to say. So
It is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Haters gonna hate.
haters will hate.
Actually, that's my new favorite phrase to say about this is because, you are doing it for yourself. It should be you who the whole thing should be concerned about, not anything else.
Sometimes
so.
it's for friends when you cosplay with friends, but
okay.
yeah, it's
But
mainly
some-
for
Yeah,
friends or yourself.
friends for yourself. But when you start doing this, how did your parents react to this?
My mom was really excited. My mom actually is like the cutest thing ever. She's like my #1 fan. It's so cute. Like when she found out I was cosplaying, she was like, "Oh, what are you wearing?" And like, she's like, "What hair color are you gonna have?" And she's like all excited about it. And she's like, "What fabric are you using?" And she gets really excited. And then my dad like was just telling me to grow up type thing. And like my dad's like really embarrassed by it. He's just like, "When are you gonna grow out of this phase? Like when are you gonna be done with this?" And like, it's not a phase. It's just something I do. It's just something fun on the side.
Has he changed anything since 4 years since you started?
No, he's still the same. Just like, "Oh, when are you gonna be done with this?" It's probably because he's like, he sees my room. He's like, "It's a mess." I'm like, "I'm sorry. I'm working on a costume." He's like, "When are you gonna be done with this?" He visited me like I think a month ago, and he saw my room. He was like, "What happened?" I'm like, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's fabric everywhere. I'm sorry." Like my room is not a room anymore. My room is a sewing room / bed.
How does cosplay, what about your relationship at work? Like, do people at work know what you do?
I hide it from them.
You hide from them?
Oh my god! Recently at my job, they started finding out what I do, and I work graveyard, so I don't see anyone.
Okay.
And so actually for this con, I had to call in because no one was there to like switch shifts with me, or not, take this, because I can't leave my job without someone being there,
Right. So
to
someone's
take
gotta
over
be
the
there.
calls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I called my boss, like, no one's here, like, what do I do? Because I wasn't sure if I forwarded the phone to someone, and she was just like, leave it type thing. I was like, okay, and she's like, oh, like, have fun this weekend. I was like, oh, thank you. She's like, I saw your costumes. I was like, oh, that's so embarrassing. And she's just like, it's cute. I was like, thank you. I was like, oh no.
Why are you embarrassed about it?
It's just like, because it's like work. It's something like work in like my personal life. I don't want them to.
You keep it kind of divided.
Because like my coworkers are slowly finding out one by one. Because I think like a month ago, my one coworker was like, I saw your costume thing that you do online. He's like, that's really cool. And I was like, thank you. Like it's okay if it's like I guess like someone who's like the same position as me, but like when it's my boss, it's so embarrassing because like she's my boss, so it's like I don't think my boss wants to know what I do on my own spare time.
Do you do a new one for every con you go to?
I don't always I try to, but I don't always. I used to a lot, but that's because I had so much time, and I always start ahead. Like I've never done last minute cosplay.
Really?
I
Okay.
can't stand that. Like doing it last minute, because then you're at the convention sewing it. It's like, well, you're paying to be there at the convention. Why you're just sitting in a room sewing? You can do that at home. So I was trying to get everything done. Like I knew I wanted to wear this for Fanime. I think I started it in January, right after ALA was done with. I just started it, and if I just start a majority of it and have like the majority of it done, by the time the convention comes, like maybe like a week or two, I'm like, all right, I need to still do this. I also have to still do that. It's not as bad as starting from nothing, because then at least I have the majority of it done. It's always those last minute details where you're like, I don't want to make this. Like this necklace I made because I was a guest of honor at Okami-Con, and so I wanted to wear this costume, but because my friend was cosplaying with me, so I was just like, oh, I still need to make this. I need to like finish like this belt detail and like this as well. So it's like, oh, I guess I could make it. So I like stayed up till 2 in the morning like making everything, And that was actually when my parents were visiting as well. So my mom was like sitting around watching me, and she was like, oh, "That's so cool," like type thing. And she's like, "Good luck," and she's like cheering me on. Like I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And she's like, "Keep going." Like I just want to stay and watch Law and Order. No, like I want to know if he goes to jail. Yeah, I always like pop the TV on while I'm sewing, and I get really distracted. So like I'll start into it, and I'm just like stare at the TV, and I'm like, go to jail, or like be guilty, you know you did it type thing. I get so into it. It's always Law and Order because that's always what's on TV.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I don't know why. You know.
Yeah, I just recently got cable. I haven't had TV in a long time, so I just got TV. So I'm just like, I miss you, TV. I miss you so much. I miss you. So like a lot of it because I'm trying to challenge myself this year. I think that's also why, because I decided to like try and like make something that I really like, but whenever I see it, I would think I don't know how to make it, and so because of that, I decided to like actually try and make it. And like because of that, I spent more time working on costumes, and that's why I think why I'm like, getting really burned out, because it's like I just made so many costumes this year where I'm just like I don't know how to make it. So I spent so much time working on it that I'm just like no more sewing.
So are you going to take a break for a while after this year?
I think after this year, I'm just gonna like I probably only gonna go to like 3 conventions and just like make things on my own time and just like do a photo shoot with a friend and like and then bring it to a convention if I go. Like and just like hang out and cosplay. But because I wanted to do like Ferrymon, I wanted to do this like hentai game character. I really like hentai game characters. Like I've never played a hentai game, but like every time I see like the character designs, I'm like, this is so cute. It's a challenge, and I really like the character. So I'm going to cosplay something this year that I have no idea how to make. So that's generally the step. And then with art, like because I cosplay a lot of like either fan art or like art images. So like, cause this is like an art image. So like usually, cause I like to collect art books. So I think I'm more into anime more because of the artwork, not because of like the show itself. But like so if I found like some really like artists I really love, and like if I see something they draw or like a character or an outfit that like a character is in, I usually get so attached to it that I'm like I really want to make this. So that's generally how I go about it. I usually find a character or like an artist that I really like.
So how do you budget time and everything for it? Do you actually think about like, okay, this will probably take me about X amount of time?
Usually what I do is because I start early, I start early and then like I get a majority of it done, and like for this I started early. I cut out everything but I didn't sew it yet, and I stopped making it for a bit and then came back to it, worked on it, and then came back to it, and then like and because of that, by the time it was like time for the convention and crunch time, I didn't spend too much time like working on it like last minute.
Because all you do is just finish up the little details that you were missing from before.
Yeah, it's because I usually always start everything early, because it's like I just don't want to do that last minute sewing. Yeah. So whenever I start early, generally I don't need to calculate how much time it takes. I just like if I start early, it's like by the time it comes to the convention, there's not much to do. Yeah. So.
Okay, that makes sense. Finally, what do you think people outside, like, in the mainstream, think about cosplay?
Probably think we're weird.
Weird?
No, they probably, not even sure, because, like, many people have different opinions. Like, some people probably think it's really cool, and some people think, like, oh, that's weird. Because I know, like, when I'm out of costume, sometimes I look at costume and I'm just like, why do I do this? I'll be in normal clothes at a convention, and I'll just be like, why do I dress up? Like, sometimes I'm like, it's so weird. I think about it, I'm just like, why do I do this? But then, like, when I'm in costume, I'm like, I love it. It's so much fun. I was like, why would I not do this?
Funny story, I was at a convention and I talked to a cosplayer, and he told me that he actually was one of those people who kind of not looked down, but was kind of had he's like, oh, it's one of those people. Until he got into it. Now he's diehard into it. So it kind of flipped on him, which I thought was so awesome.
With me, it started out where I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And now, like, when I'm like in normal clothes at a convention, I'm like, why do I dress up like this? Like, why do I dress up?
Well, okay, awesome. I think that's pretty much it. Tell you what, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries, no worries.